Hari Om, Jai Shri Krishna. Welcome back to Scriptures as Told. Agni Purana, Chapter 12. Continuation of the previous episode. Manifestation of Vishnu as Shri Krishna. Agni Deva said, after defeating Narakasura, Lord Krishna, along with Satyabhama, mounted Garuda and went to heaven, Swargaloka. There, he defeated Indra and brought back jewels, the money mountain, and the Parijata tree and placed them in Satyabhama's palace. Lord Krishna had received education in weaponry and scriptures from sage Sandipani. After completing his education, as part of Guru Dakshina, he brought back the dead son of his Guru. For this, he defeated the demon named Panchajanya and even went to the realm of Yamaloka. There, Yamaraja worshipped him greatly. There once was a king named Kala Yavana. He was a king of the Yavanas. He was an enemy of Krishna and an invincible foe of the Yadavas. Krishna found it impossible to kill him. King Muchukunda, the son of Mandhatar, assisted the celestials in their war against demons and got as a boon a long and unbroken sleep, and that whoever dared to disturb his sleep would be burned to ashes. So, Krishna cunningly decoyed Kalayavana to the nearby cave where Muchukunda was sleeping. Muchukunda's sleep was disturbed by the Kalayavana and he was burned to ashes. At that time, Muchukunda came out of the cave and saw Krishna and worshipped him. Lord Krishna greatly honored Vasudeva, Devaki, and the Brahmins devoted to God. By Balarama, two sons named Nishata and Ulmuka were born from Revati's womb. From Jambavati, a son named Samba was born to Krishna. Similarly, other sons were born to Krishna from his other queens. From Rukmini, a son named Pradyumna was born. When Pradyumna was 6 days old, the demon named Shambara kidnapped him using magical powers. He was Kamsa's companion. Knowing that his death was to come from this child, he threw the child into the ocean. Then a fish swallowed him in the ocean. The fish was caught by fishermen and was gifted back to Shambara. Then Shambarasura handed over the fish to Mayavati. When Mayavati cut open, inside the fish's stomach she found a boy. She instantly recognized him and nurtured him with great care. When Pradyumna grew up, Mayavati said to him, "O Lord, I am your wife Rati and you are my husband Kamadeva. In the past, Lord Shiva had turned you into ash and made you bodiless. In your absence, Shambarasura kidnapped me. I have not accepted being his wife. You are a master of magical powers, so kill Shambarasura." Hearing this, Pradyumna killed Shambarasura and went to Lord Krishna with his wife Mayavati. The arrival of Pradyumna brought great joy to Krishna and Rukmini. From Pradyumna, a wise son named Aniruddha was born. When Aniruddha grew up, he became the husband of Usha. King Bali had a son named Bana. Usha was his daughter. Her residence was in Shonitpur. Bana performed severe penance which pleased Lord Shiva, who accepted him as his son. One day, Lord Shiva, satisfied with Banasura's desire for battle, said to him, "Bana, the day when the flagstaff of your palace breaks down and collapses on its own, understand that you will face war." One day, Goddess Parvati was romancing with Lord Shiva on Mount Kailasha. Seeing this, Usha's heart also desired for a husband. Understanding her thoughts, Goddess Parvati said, The man you will see in your dream on the night of the 12th day of the month of Vaishakha, he will become your husband. Upon hearing these words of Gauri, another name of Mother Parvati, Usha became very happy. On the mentioned date, when she slept in her house, she saw the same dream. Usha had a friend named Chitralekha. She was the daughter of Kumbhandaka, the minister of Bana. Using the paintings created by her, Usha recognized Aniruddha as the one who had appeared in her dream. Through Chitralekha, she had secretly arranged for Aniruddha, the grandson of Krishna, to be brought to her palace from Dwaraka. Aniruddha arrived and started living there secretly in Usha's apartment, spending time with her and married her. At this time, the guards of the flagstaff informed Bana that his flag had fallen. At the very same moment, the guards of Usha's apartment informed that there was a man living with Princess Usha. Then, a fierce battle took place between Aniruddha and Banasura. Hearing from Narada about Aniruddha's arrival at Shaunitpur, Lord Krishna, along with Pradyumna and Balabhadra, rode on Garuda and went there. After defeating Agni and the fever caused by Maheshwara, they began to fight with Lord Shiva. Fierce battle began between Krishna and Lord Shiva with arrows striking and counter striking each other. Nandi, Ganesha, Kartikeya, and other prominent warriors were immediately defeated by Garuda and others. Krishna used the Jrimbanastra weapon, which caused Lord Shiva to yawn and fall asleep. Meanwhile, Krishna cut off 1,000 arms of Banasura. When the effect of the Jrimbanastra subsided, Lord Shiva requested a boon of protection for Bana. Then Krishna spared Bana's life, leaving him with 2 arms, and spoke to Lord Shiva. Sri Krishna said, "O Lord, since you have granted Bana protection, I will let him go. There is no difference between you and me. Anyone who considers a difference will fall into hell." Agni Deva says, thereafter Lord Shiva and others worshipped Sri Krishna. Krishna, Aniruddha, and Usha went to Dwaraka and lived happily with Ugrasena and the other Yadavas. Aniruddha had a son named Vajra. He acquired knowledge of all sciences and skills from sage Markandeya. Lord Balabhadra or Balaram killed Pralambasura and redirected the flow of the Yamuna river. He also killed a demon monkey named Dvivida. With a slight portion of his strength, using the front part of the plough, which Balabhadra always used as a weapon, he caused Hastinapur to sink into pits and shattered the pride of the Kauravas. Lord Krishna, assuming many forms, continued to spend time with Rukmini and his other queens. He fathered countless number of sons. In the end, after concluding the Yadava dynasty, he departed to the supreme abode. Anyone who reads this account of Harivamsha achieves all their desires and ultimately attains closeness to Lord Sri Hari. Thus ends the chapter 12 named Manifestation of Vishnu as Sri Krishna, described by Agni Deva to sage Vashishta as part of Agni Purana. If you liked this video, please comment below, hit the like button and subscribe to Scriptures as Told to encourage me in this journey so I can create more such content for you and the future generations. Don't forget to share it with your kids, family and friends. Please press the bell icon and get notified when I upload my next video. Hari Om. Jai Shri Krishna.